Rolling?
Yep.
Okay. Who can raise their hand and tell me what I have in my hands? What are these things called? Do you know what they're called, Shantae? A magnifying glass. Now, who can tell me what do we use a magnifying glass for? Morgan?
To see things that are really tiny.
Okay, to see things that are really tiny. Okay. Can anyone tell me who uses a magnifying glass?
Ooh.
Who do you think uses a magnifying glass, Jeanette?
A blue person.
Okay, that clue person, you are on the right track. That clue person has a special name. Do you know what they're called, Dominique?
Detectives.
A detective. The reason I have these magnifying glasses is because today we're going to be detectives, but a special kind of detective. Okay? A regular detective looks for clues and tries to solve problems. But if you're a detective and you're reading, you look for clues in whatever it is that you're reading. Okay? So today we're going to learn about something called drawing conclusions. Drawing conclusions is when you use what you know already, you look for clues in your reading, and you think about what makes sense. Okay? So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to draw some conclusions. So we're going to look at some pictures, and we're going to look for clues and try to guess what those pictures are. Okay, so we're going to look for clues. We're going to think about what we already know. We're going to think about what makes sense, and we're going to draw conclusions about what we are reading. When you draw conclusions, you say words like, I think, my guess is, maybe, I infer, and I predict. Okay? Now, a while back ago, we talked about synonyms. Who remembers what a synonym is? What's a synonym, Justin?
The opposite. The opposite.
Ooh, you're very close. An antonym would be the opposite. Who knows what a synonym is? Do you remember, Jaden?
The same.
Words that mean the same. So I have some synonyms for drawing conclusions. These are some words that mean the same thing as drawing conclusions. We have predict. Predict means to draw conclusions. Guess means to draw conclusions. If you suppose, that means to draw conclusions. Infer means to draw conclusions. Figure out means to draw conclusions. And to speculate. These are all synonyms for the words drawing conclusions, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We are going to draw some conclusions. Here we go. Technology never wants to work. Here we go. Miss Mayronne is going to give you an example first, okay? And the way that I'm going to do this is, raise your hand if you've ever seen Blue's Clues, or if you've ever heard of Blue's Clues. Well, in Blue's Clues, they use a notebook to take down clues. So Miss Mayronne has her handy-dandy notebook, and I'm going to flip to the first page, and I'm going to get a pencil, and I'm going to take some clues, okay? Here we go. Let's see if it works this time. I'm going to stop right there. And let me think of some clues. I need to figure out what this picture is. I see it looks rough, so I'm going to put rough down here. I see that it's kind of yellowish gold. So my job as a detective is to look for clues. So I see that it looks like it's rough. I also see that it's kind of yellowish gold. So I need to draw a conclusion about what this picture is. So when you draw conclusions, you have to start with one of these words. I think I'm going to go with I think. I think that this is a picture of the beach, because I already know that the beach has sand, and sand feels kind of rough. So I think that this is a picture of the beach. Okay?
Okay, that's what I know.
That's what you predict? All right. Let's see. wasn't right. So I'm going to make a new prediction. I'm going to get some more clues. All right. So I'm a detective. So it wasn't the beach. I see some new clues now. I see something that looks kind of like mountains. All right, there's my new clue. Remember, when you draw conclusions, you have to use one of these sentence starters. So this time I'm going to say, maybe this is a picture of a pyramid.
Yes.
Let's see if I'm correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Was I correct?
Yes.
Miss Mayronne was correct, okay? So that is drawing conclusions. Drawing conclusions is when you look for clues. Did I look for clues?
Yep.
Yes, I did. Did I think about what I already knew? Yeah, I talked about how I knew that a beach has sand and sand looks rough. I also talked about how I knew that this was the color, kind of a yellowish gold color, just like the beach. Okay? So I thought about what I already knew. When I was thinking, did it make sense? Did it make sense what I was doing? Yeah, it made sense. And then I came up with my conclusion. When I came up with my conclusion and what I thought it was, I used words. I used maybe. I also used I think. So now it's your turn to be the detective. Okay? So I have my magnifying glass, and we are going to look at some other pictures and draw some conclusions about what those pictures might be. Here we go. Here's our first picture. Now before I do this, you guys are going to have your very own notebooks. Now the way that we're going to pass this out is we are going to sing the 50 Nifty song. By the time the 50 Nifty song is finished, I need everyone's eyes facing me, and I need your notebook sitting in your lap and you holding your pencil. Give me a thumbs up if you think we can do that. We're going to sing the 50 Nifty song, and by the time the 50 Nifty song is finished, we will all have a notebook in our hands and a pencil in our hands. Now, we're just going to sing the states. We're not going to sing the entire song. Okay? So we'll start off with, the beginning, 50, nifty, but then as soon as we finish the states, we're going to be finished, okay? So you're going to take one and pass it down. Ready? Begin.
50 nifty United States from 13 original colonies. 50 nifty stars in the flag that billows so beautifully in the breeze. Each individual state contributes a quality that is great. Each individual state deserves a bow. We salute them now. 50 nifty United States from 13 original colonies. Shout 'em, scout 'em, tell all about 'em, one by one till we given a day to every state in the USA. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Wyoming.
Okay, very good job. Give yourselves a pat on the back. All right, here we go. Who is ready to be a detective today? I know I am. All right. Thank you so much to Zaria for continuing to sit scholarly. Thank you so much to Jaden for doing a fabulous job and sitting scholarly. Okay, it is time for you to be the detective. So I'm going to take out my handy dandy magnifying glass. And you have already a clue. We've already started lifting this. So right now, what are some of the things that you notice? What are some clues that you see? And I'm going to call on one or two of you. All right, so remember, when you're looking for clues, when you're drawing conclusions, you're looking for clues. You're thinking about what you already know, and then you're thinking about what makes sense. Okay? So what's the first clue? Who wants to raise their hand and tell me the first thing that they see? Shantae, what do you see?
Snow.
You see snow. So would you like to draw a conclusion about what you think it is? Do you want to take a guess yet?
No.
Okay, that's okay. So her first clue is that there's snow. Does anyone else want to take a guess? Yes. What do you see? So she sees snow. Do you see anything else?
Footprints on snow.
Footprints on snow. Okay, do you want to take a guess at what you might think that this is? Okay, so your clue is that you see footprints on a snow. What do you already know about footprints on snow? What does that mean? Okay, but what does that mean? When you see footprints on the snow, what does that mean? What would that mean, Morgan?
That somebody's probably walking on the snow.
Ooh. So let's take the clue that Jeanette found. She found that there's footprints in the snow. Okay, so she found number one. The first clue that she saw was footprints in the snow. The next thing is we thought about what we already know about footprints in the snow. And Morgan told us what she knows about footprints in the snow is that somebody probably made those footprints. Okay? So who wants to draw a conclusion about what this photo might be? What do you think it might be? Start off with one of these sentences. Either I think, my guess is, maybe, I infer, or I predict.
I predict that a man is in the snow.
Ooh, that's a good conclusion. She predicts that it's a man in the snow. Let's see if she's correct. Oh, there's some more clues.
No.
Write down some more clues. Good detectives are constantly looking for clues. When you have another clue, raise your hand. Oh, you want to try it again, Shantae? Okay, what's your new clue?
Dogs.
Dogs. What do you already know about dogs and snow and footprints? What do you already know? What do you know, Carmen? Ooh, there's rows of footsteps. Okay, do you want to draw a conclusion about this picture? Okay, so when you're drawing conclusions, you start off with either I think, my guess is, maybe, I infer, or I predict. Okay, what's your guess? What do you think this is? Ooh, a guy, what, being pulled by snow dogs? Let's see if she's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great detective skills, Carmen. Since you solved this case, Detective Carmen, you get to hold on to this stone for us. All right? That's what happens when you solve a case. You get to take a piece of that case with you. Here we go. Here's the next one. You ready? You can turn the next page if you want. You can write on the back, but here we go. You're looking for clues. Ooh, snake! Oh, don't yell out. Write down your clues. Interesting. When you have a clue, raise your hand. Do you have a clue, Dominique?
I think it's
No, don't tell me what you think it is. What's your clue first? First, you have to look at the clues. What do you see?
Scales.
Oh, so he sees scales. What do you know about scales already? Because you did the first thing. You looked for a clue and you said scales. So now think about what you already know. What do you know about scales?
I know scales come from dragons and snakes.
Okay, so scales come on dragons and snakes. Okay. So, let's think about what makes sense, okay? So you know your clue is that you see scales, and you know that scales come on dragons and snakes. Would you like to draw a conclusion about what you think this picture is? Which sentence starter would you like to start with? Because when you draw conclusions, you say things like, I think, hold on, my guess, maybe, I infer, or I predict.
I predict that it's a snake.
He predicts that it's a snake. Here we go, let's see.
I know.
Oh,
I know. No.
Write down more clues. Write down more clues. Oh, I'm looking for people on their bottoms. I like how Jules is working on his detective skills quietly. I love how Wendell has a quiet hand. Wendell, what's your clue?
A sea turtle.
Oh, but we didn't draw a conclusion yet. I want to know your clue first. What made you think it was a sea turtle? What do you see that made you think that it was a sea turtle? What's your clue?
Because of that fin.
Oh, so your clue is that you saw a fin, right? Okay, and what do you already know about fins? What do you know about things with fins?
A sea turtle. A sea turtle like that.
So a sea turtle has fins? So you already knew that sea turtles had fins, right?
Yep.
All right, so you want to draw a conclusion about what this picture is. So which sentence starter are you going to use? I think, my guess is, maybe, I infer, or I predict.
I infer this is a sea turtle.
He infers that this. Good job, Detective Wendell. You can hold on to this for us, okay? Good job, Detective Wendell. All right, here's the next one.
No, it's probably a puzzle turtle. It is. No, it's a puzzle turtle.
Are we ready?
Yes. Puzzle. We can turn the next page.
If you need to.
What do we got on our next clues cube?
I love the nice quiet hand that Jerry has. Jerry, what is your first clue? What do you see? I'm using my magnifying glass. What do you see?
Green stuff.
Okay, you see green things. So you see some things that are green? Okay, so that's your first clue. What are some things that you already know about things being green?
Grass and leaves.
Okay, grass and leaves are green. Okay, would you like to draw a conclusion about what this picture might be?
A leaf.
You think it might be a leaf? Okay, so you need to use a sentence starter. Which one would you like to use?
I think it's a leaf.
I think it's a leaf. Let's see if he's correct.
That looks like a spider.
I love Jordan's quiet hand. You ready, Jordan? So what's your next clue?
It has.
What did you write in that notebook?
Well, it has a lot of legs.
A lot of legs. What do you know about things with a lot of legs?
Spiders.
Ooh, so you know that spiders have a lot of legs? Ooh, so would you like to draw a conclusion? So what would you like to say? Would you like to say, I think, my guess is, maybe, I infer, or I predict?
I predict it is a snake.
You predict that it's a what?
A snake.
A snake?
I mean, a spider.
A spider. Let's see if he's right.
Oh!
Excellent job, Mr. Dan.
Oh! Is that real?
All right.
No, it's fake.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, so we have been looking at clues because sometimes when you read, the author doesn't always give you all of the answers. Thank you for your eyes, Jerry and Justin and Tunis. sometimes the author doesn't always give you all of the answers. They don't tell you everything, okay? So, right now, we will have a chance to look at some more, but right now, now, same exact things that a detective does. Trying to detect clues in our reading. It says, you are in line at the cafeteria. You ordered a pizza. You look around and notice that people who got pizza are throwing it away after taking a bite. Here's my question. Do you take the pizza? Why or why not? So let's look for these clues, okay? So I'll say it one more time. You're in line, standing in line at a cafeteria. You ordered pizza. You look around and you notice that people who got the pizza are throwing it away after taking a bite. Would you take the pizza? Why or why not? Your clues. Would you take some of that pizza? Jeanette, would you take the pizza? You would take the pizza. Why?
Because it's so delicious.
Well, you think it might be delicious, but what are some other clues in this story? What are some other clues, Karen?
The pizza can probably taste nasty.
What clues did you see that made you think that that pizza was going to taste nasty? I mean, you can come in, but I don't think it is. What made you think that that pizza would taste nasty? What did the author say that made you think that that pizza would taste nasty, Karen?
That when they had bought the pizza, they had took one bite and threw it away.
Karen looked for clues. She noticed that, you know what, the author said that everyone else who took a bite threw it away. So why would she take pizza if everyone else is throwing it away? So the conclusion that she drew is that, you know what, the pizza probably tastes bad. So she wouldn't take the pizza because her guess is that the pizza probably tastes bad. Good job, Karen. Let's try another one. She did a really good job of looking for clues. Here's the next one. The lake is frozen. The girl puts on her ice skates and steps onto the ice. Then she hears a cracking sound. Use your clues and tell me, what time of year is it? Use a sentence starter. What time of year is it? Use a sentence starter. Jaden.
No.
Whoa, what time of year is it? You need to use a sentence starter. So I think my guess is...
I think my guess is snow.
Okay, so what time of year is that? What season could it be?
Winter.
So start all over. So I think it is...
I think it is winter.
Ooh, I think you're probably right. Jaden used the clues that the author gave him. Okay? It said the lake is frozen. Lakes are usually frozen in the winter. Here's the next one. What is the girl wanting to do? Look at your clues. What is she trying to do that day? What's she trying to do, Justin?
Skate.
What kind of skate?
She's trying to figure skate.
Okay, so your conclusion is that she's trying to figure skate. Can you start with one of our sentence starters, please?
My guess is that she's trying to figure skate.
Your guess is that she's trying to figure skate? I think you're right. Here's the next one. What is the cracking noise? So she steps onto the frozen ice and she hears a cracking noise. What's your conclusion? What's that cracking noise? Can you start with one of our sentence starters, Morgan?
I infer that the ice is probably cracking because it's ice and ice cracks.
Okay, good. I think you're right too. Okay? Now, should the girl keep skating? Why or why not? What's the conclusion that you draw? Should that little girl keep skating, Carmen?
No.
No. Can you tell me why? Why do you think she should not keep skating? Give us one of your sentence starters.
I
Ooh. So she thinks that the little girl should stop skating because she thinks that maybe the girl stepped too hard on the ice so that the other ice will not crack. All right. You guys were really good detectives today. Here's my question. At the beginning, I told you that a detective uses clues. Okay? Before you are a detective, you actually have to be a police officer. So for those of you who liked looking at clues and drawing conclusions, one day you might think about being a detective or a police officer. Now, who can raise their hand and tell me, why do you think it's important for a detective to be able to use clues to draw conclusions? Why should a detective know how to use clues to draw conclusions? Jerry?
So nobody can get hurt.
Okay, so no one can get hurt. How can using clues help a detective be a better detective, Justin?
Because the reason why I can make him a better detective, because if he does all the clues, so he can tell the police or the people what happened. But if he doesn't have like the stuff that we have, he might forget it and he'll just like not be a detective.
Okay, so what I like that he said is that when he does he can tell the other police officers exactly what he knows. By looking at clues, he can tell the other police officers exactly what happened. Okay, so if you enjoyed drawing conclusions, who comes up if you actually really enjoyed drawing conclusions? Those of you with the thumbs up, you may want to think about going to college and becoming maybe a detective or a police officer. Because what you learned today, you will use if you do become a detective or a police officer. Okay? So, give yourselves a pat on the back.